Hi everybody. Today I'm going to show you how to create an exploded assembly view from of your puzzle cube project. So you can see on the screen I have my assembled puzzle, and now what I'm going to do is I want to create a drawing showing my assembled puzzle exploded out and include parts list and balloons. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new file. And I'm going to have to use my assembled puzzle in this file. This is called a standard.ipn. This is an Inventor presentation file. So I'm going to open that up first. And this is what happens when you don't have everything saved in a project pathway. It starts to get all tangled because my parts are so old. It has a hard time finding all the good stuff. So here's my assembled puzzle, and I brought that in as the base view into my IPN file. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something called tweak the components. And so to tweak the components, I'm going to click tweak, and this is going to separate all of the individual parts. Then I'm going to click on a part, and I'm going to grab this little ball and stretch it to pull the part away from the puzzle. Okay, again, I'm going to click, drag it, and in this case I'm going to drag over, click, drag it whichever direction you think you should be dragging it, and then I'm going to drag this one away, and I'm going to click away, click the green check mark to be done, and I'm going to take a snapshot view of that. Okay. Now what this allows me to do is to create like a little movie of my parts moving. So if I click the play button at the bottom, you can see that I've actually animated my puzzle cube. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I am going to create a drawing view. So I'm going to click create drawing view. Oh, I need to save it, so I always like to do file, save as, so I know it's going in the right spot. And again, these are all error messages I'm getting because of my project pathway issues. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and create the drawing view using the McNeil Engineering drawing sheet. And here I go. Typing in my name, puzzle cube. The part name, this is going to be assembly, and I'm going to click OK. All right, and now my puzzle cube exploded view is showing up in the middle of this drawing. Showing up pretty small, that's a 1:4 scale. Let's make it 1/2 so it's a little bit bigger, and click OK. All right, I want that view to be shaded, so I'm going to mouse over the center of the view, right click, edit view, and shade it in so it keeps its color. Oh, doesn't want to shade in for me. Wow. Okay. There we go. Third time's the charm. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to add a parts list to show what parts I've included in my puzzle. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click annotate, and I'm going to click parts list. And I'm going to select the view, which is all the pieces, and then I'm just going to click OK. And I'm just going to set it down here for now. I'm going to edit it, so I just want to set it sort of out of the way. Now on this parts list, I've got this empty column, which isn't doing me any good. And I don't have a header that tells me, like, this is the part number and this is the part quantity. Now I'd like to have a header that shows me that. So I'm going to mouse over till it turns red, right click, edit parts list, and I want to get rid of this empty column first of all. So I'm going to click on this left-hand button, column chooser, click the word description, and remove, and click OK. The other thing I want to do is I want to make those headings show up. So I'm going to click on this button over here, fourth from the right, and it's called Table Layout. Gives me this bad style data every time, but don't worry about that. Just click through it, and where it says heading, click this one with the green stripe at the top, and then click OK. And then apply and OK. And you can see that my parts list changed. I've now got headings, and that empty column disappeared. I don't want this parts list over my parts, so I'm going to mouse around in it until I get the four-headed arrow. When the four-headed arrow pops up, that tells me I can left-click and drag my parts list out of the way. Okay, the other two-headed arrow just lets me stretch my parts list. I'm going to shift this view up a little because I feel like it needs to be a little bit away from the parts list in the title block. And now I'm going to put balloons on here. So I'm going to auto balloon, and I'm going to select the view set first. So this, it's actually, let me go back over here. All right, I'm going to click auto balloon, and I'm just going to add or remove component. So it already knows what view set I want. So I'm clicking each one until it turns red and then blue. Then I'm selecting the placement of my balloons. So if I select horizontal, they're all going to line up. If I select vertical, they'll line up vertically. And I usually like to use around, so they kind of all go around the part. So I'm going to use that as my setting and click it to set it down and click OK. Now you'll notice that this one, for instance, is on my parts list, this number 1. I can just click when I get the green dot and drag it away. And number 4 is kind of at a weird angle, so I'm just going to shift 4 and 5 a little bit. And that's pretty much how I want it. I feel like that looks good. So now I'm ready to save my file.